Hi, my name is Arun Sardana. I am the founder of Karuṇā. I make my living in the world of finance, specifically in providing investment guidance to nonprofit organizations. But I derive my meaning in the world of compassion, specifically Karuna. Karuna is a Sanskrit word which means the compassionate desire to remove suffering. It's been used for ages, since the time of Buddha and before. Now, Karuna is an effort to shift the way we live our life and to think about things that are important. The open book journey is a small initiative as part of the bigger Karuna umbrella. So, if we really think about Karuna and we think about suffering, there are two questions that come to my mind. Why should we do it, and why now? And the answer to me is really looking at what's outside and what's inside. Let me explain what I mean by that. If you think about the wisdom that's contained in books and the wisdom that has been passed down for generations, that I believe is universal, that I believe that belongs to everybody, it is being contained in paid for apps, in paid for workshops, in everything that costs a whole lot of money, which is fine. Capitalism is part of life. But then the real question is, what about those who don't have the ability, who don't have the resources to get all of these tools for well-being, so they can also get what I believe is a basic human right, and that's happiness? Why is it that it is a domain of a few? And this effort of the open book journey is a small step towards that end goal, to make wisdom contained in minds and thoughts and books available to everyone at no cost. The other reason why what's happening outside of us is important is, if you look around today in the COVID-19 world, and prior to that in the stock market crashes, or the Spanish flu back in 1918, 1919, World War II, Civil War, all kinds of things that happened in the Middle East, the kind of fires that are burning around the world today, the tensions that are happening around the valuable life that was lost of George Floyd, all of those challenges that are happening outside, I believe require a movement of compassion. I believe the suffering that is there needs to be addressed through the most potent medicine that has been prescribed by all kinds of people, including the most illuminated, the most enlightened, and that is compassion. So when we think about what's going on outside, we have to think about how it relates to what's going on inside. What's it doing to us inside? It doesn't take a lot to think about how we are today suffering in this world. Now, we have first world problems, meaning we are still living in comfortable homes, most of us. We have means of transport, we have availability of food, but yet we have stress and anxiety and depression and angst and anger and all kinds of things happening because of the environment that we are not allowed to step outside. So the effects of what's happening outside is translating into a lot of suffering inside. Then there are those third world problems where people don't have enough to eat, where they don't have the basic necessities of life that give us basic comforts. All of that creates another kind of suffering inside. And once again, I believe Karuna, or compassion, or the compassionate desire to remove suffering, is the answer. Karuna specifically has three goals. First is to empower youth and women in disadvantaged communities. Second, to allow for the mothers of young children and fathers of young children who cannot work to have a space where they can provide early childhood education to their young ones and find time to go get skills so they can get employment and come out of the clutches and this vicious cycle of poverty and abuse. And the third and final goal is that we have an amazing body of scientists that are supporting us in this effort. There are scientific advisory board members. And we want to initiate research beyond what has been done in many of these communities, in disadvantaged communities, to truly understand what are the coordinates of well-being in that world. So those three goals are all designed to bring about a shift in the path of the basic right that these people have, which is a fair shot at life. And that's the entire effort of Karuna, to break this cycle of poverty and abuse so people can have just a fair shot at what is their basic human right, and that's happiness and joy. The best part about the Karuna's movement is that it is not something that I created. It's the universe's movement, it truly is. And I'd like to invite you to be part of it. And you can be part of it in one of 5 ways. You can visit our website and know more about it at www.accesskaruna.com or just accesskaruna.com. And the ways you can get involved is by, 1, being a contributor of content. Many of you are very talented writers, gifted speakers, write stories, photographers, videographers, all kinds of people who are on the stage or off stage that have a lot to contribute towards our cause. Telling stories, writing about the wisdom in books, contributing to the content we are trying to create, the healing platform that we are trying to create. That's one way. Second is to be a partner and a collaborator. Now, if you're a company already selling things or providing these services, we'd love to talk to you about how we can collaborate, because all our effort is focused on shifting this social dynamic that exists in disadvantaged communities. The third way you can be part of this movement is to be a sponsor of some of the initiatives we are currently planning and plan for the future. For example, we have some in-person journeys that we are planning to host. Unfortunately, COVID-19 stopped us from doing that. We already had plans in place. So that's one other way to be a sponsor of such activities. The fourth way is to be a volunteer. As we build out a lot of these initiatives, we need help. We need your help. And many of you have this heart's desire to go out and serve and shift the life of others and make them get better. Because we know that when we allow other people to find happiness, it returns back to us, it comes back to us tenfold. The final way you can be part of this movement is to be an attendee at one of our in-person events. We're going to call it the Karuṇā Journeys, that we are going to start planning soon. So register at our website, contact us, subscribe to our website, accesskaruna.com, and please support us. This is our initial effort. Subscribe to this channel, spread the word, send this out to your friends and family, let them send this out to their friends and family, and get the movement of compassion, the biggest wave of Karuna, to start in a small way, but impact thousands and millions of people down the road. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll be part of it, and I hope you'll enjoy the content of the Open Book Journey.